Hello and welcome to this short video showing you how to produce the 5mm LED in Fusion 360. Just a bit of a warm-up task really as you go on to build the rest of the parts you will need for your NEA. Hopefully you have this drawing in front of you. We'll kind of be referring to that as we go through. So to begin with, as with every kind of design on Fusion, we will start with a blank page. We're then going to save. I already have an NEA folder put together and we'll call it 5mm LED. So the first thing to do when you look at a technical drawing that you're trying to replicate is work out where on earth do you start. And I suppose you could start at the bottom of the feet and just kind of work up, but I'm actually going to kind of build from the base of the glass LED up. So my first kind of surface, if you like, is going to be this one here. I will extrude that, just this little lip here, that small amount, and then either build the dome top or the legs out from the bottom. So to begin with, this is the first piece we need to make, and there's just a couple of measurements on there. I'm going to first look at making this sort of D shape, I suppose, this circle with a portion cut out. Now, how do we do that? Well, the dimensions we have are that this is 5.9mm diameter. If this was a full circle, it would be 5.9, so I can start there. I'm going to start a sketch on this base plane here. Because this is just one component, I'm not going to make a new component. If it were an assembly, multiple pieces, I'd make new components, but the LED is a component in and of itself. We don't need to make it in multiple parts. I'm going to draw a circle out from the middle, 5.9mm, and then zoom in to kind of make that fill the screen. I'm then going to draw a line horizontally across and then constrain it so that it's 2.5mm up from the middle of the circle. So I'm going to use the line tool. It doesn't really matter where you come across here, but do just bring it up until it snaps to horizontal. You can see this little constraint that Fusion throws in for me just tells me that it's holding it horizontal. I'm going to press escape to drop my tool here, and I can drag this up and down. Should be able to drag it up and down. There we go. And you can see it just remains in that kind of horizontal plane. I'm now going to dimension from here to the middle of the circle, and I know that that is 2.5mm. Doesn't really matter how wide that top section is. I know the amount that it doesn't really matter how big that section is as long as this is 2.5. And that's it. We're not going to worry about the legs for now. We'll come back to that in a minute. It's time to extrude. So I'm going to right click, press pull, click just the portion I wish. Oh, I tend to roll this round here. In fact, we'll look at the top and we'll make the top point upwards. That's kind of logical. And I believe it is 1mm thick. So we'll come up and look at the other drawings. You often have to look at all of the drawings when you're doing one of these kind of replications in Fusion. So if we look over here, we can see we have a 1mm thickness on this kind of this glass lip at the bottom, which is what we're working on. So that automatically went up by 1mm. I'll just show you that again. Normally we kind of drag up and it jumps in 1mm increments. So there we go, 1mm, lovely. Okay, what to build next? I think we'll tackle the glass dome. Now, the dome is centered on the sort of circular kind of D-shaped base, if you like. They share the same midpoint. So if I start the circle from the middle, it will line up as it needs to be. Now you can see up here, we've got a radius on this curved top piece, which tells me if this were a full circle, it would be 5mm in diameter. So the distance from the left to the right hand edge is 5mm. I can now draw my 5mm circle in there. Sketch on top, circle, and from the middle, I'm going to come 5 millimeters. You can see it's just touching that edge there. It's actually a tangent across that flat edge. 5 millimeters. Now, one measurement I neglected to put in that I shall add now and make sure it's on the drawings is the overall height of the LED. So from here to the, oh no, I did put it in, here it is. So Fusion is slightly odd, perhaps in that it won't reference the top of a curved surface. So when you dimension from this edge here up, it will only pick up the midpoint of the circle. So I know it's 5 mil from there to there. And because the middle of the circle to the outside edge is 2.5 millimeters, I know from the bottom to there is 5, from there to there is 2.5, so the overall distance is 7.5 mil. So I can right click, press pull, and pull that up 7.5 millimeters. Lovely. And a curved top's pretty straightforward. Just gonna use the modify tool. Fillet option might be on the top, might be down here, might have to press F. And then drag it in till it touches. It should be 2.5 mil. There we go. I'm just going to type 2.5, get it bang on. Fab. That's the kind of glass portion complete. We're now going to have a look at the underside and put in the 2 legs. So I'm going to start my sketch right away on this base piece here. You don't have to do this, but what I'm going to do just to make it a little bit easier on myself is orient my model so that the flat face is pointing up as it is in the drawing. That's pretty straightforward, really. If you look up at the view cube top right, we can twist the flat drawings by 90 degrees. You don't get that option when you're looking at it at an angle. It only works when you're completely flat on one of the faces. So I look at the bottom and then I get the choice here and I'll twist that around. Excellent. Now these 2 feet are absolutely in line with the middle, and we can see that the first one is 1 millimeter down. So we're going to use a few construction lines here just to get stuff laid out as we want. A line. I'm going to change it on the right, just make sure it's not hidden. Sometimes it gets tucked away there, so bring that out. Change it into a construction line, this one on the left. Hover over so you pick up the middle, and we're going to come down. You should be able to go all the way through to get the middle on the other side. It's my center line. So I haven't got the dimensions for these little square feet, but if I zoom out, again, get used to looking at all the drawings I can see here, the width of that square is 0.5 mil. So that square is 0.5 mil by 0.5 mil. We know it's 1 millimeter down from the top. We'll look at that in a moment. And it sits perfectly on that middle line. So I come back here, and there's a few different ways you could do this, but I would use the rectangle, a center rectangle, allows us to kind of define the middle of it, take it out of construction mode, otherwise it will be a dotted line, and start anywhere. It doesn't really matter, just avoid starting bang in the middle or bang at the top, because it will snap to that point. You don't want it to snap. And we'll go 0.5 mil, press the tab key, the top left of your keyboard, 2 arrows pointing away from one another, and that's the right shape. And you can see that the black lines mean it's constrained. So these black edges I can't change at all. They're limited in height by this, and they're limited, I can't drag it left or right. It takes a bit of getting your head around, but the light blue lines mean I can adjust them. And actually the adjustment I can make is that I can drag them up and down. There's no constraint there at all. Now I know the constraint needs to be 1 millimeter down from the top, so I'll pop that in now. Click, see, I had the line selected there. It's dimensioning it out to 0.5 of a mil. Don't need that. Press escape. Escape again to drop the line, and then dimension tool. Pick up the top edge. Pick up that line there, and we're going to set that to 1 mil. Now I don't have the distance down between these two, but it is symmetrical through the middle line. Okay, so the line that runs left to right is the kind of halfway point between these 2 squares. So again, a couple of different ways you could do it. I could measure to the middle to there. it's 1 mil. It would over constrain it if I put it in. So I'm gonna press OK. Anytime you see that message and you'll get the dimension in brackets. Every dimension that isn't in brackets, for example, this one, you can change. I can make that 0.8, whatever. You can't do that with bracketed ones. This distance here, this 1 mil, is already defined by 1 mil at the top, half a mil down, and this is just what's left in the middle. So that's a fixed measurement. So it's subject to the others. If I were to change this, that would remain the same. This one would have to change. That's the driven constraint, is what it's called. So it's a mil, and I could very easily draw another one at the bottom and put that in as 1 mil. In fact, it's not always a bad idea to take the easy option, so that's what we'll do here. 0.5 by 0.5. So there's a few different ways to do it, but we're going to go with this one today. Click the middle. Now that is a dimension you can edit. I can manipulate that then to match. You could have put a construction line through the middle and done a mirroring operation, but it's really surplus to requirements. We've got what we need. Now, how far to extrude? One of the legs is 55.6, and the other 27. Doesn't matter which one you do first. I shall make this one. No, apologies, it does matter. The shorter leg is on the side that has the flat. That's the way you identify it. So we're going to have the long leg at the back and the shorter leg against the flat edge. 25.6 is our measurement. 25.6. So that's the short leg. When you do that, that sketch is going to disappear, and we won't be able to extrude the other one. We have to come in and manually make it visual again. Right click, press pull, and make that 27 mil. And then I'm going to turn the sketch off. We don't need to see all the dimensions. So there we go. That is it. It's perhaps a little hard to see in the drawing, this angle. The legs look the same. It's a bit of an optical illusion. Just as you look at it from a certain angle, the legs kind of become the same length, and then as you look at it from the side, one is slightly longer. Only little thing to do at the end is to assign a material, or an appearance would be absolutely fine for this. Metal, I mean the legs would sort of a silver color. You can keep them as steel, really, that would be fine, or aluminium perhaps. Polished aluminium, why not? It's going to do the whole thing unless we select the faces option. So then I'm going to come in, select glass. I don't know, actually this may or may not be the best. You can play around with this, but a smooth green glass on that face, and this face, and this face, and that face is kind of technically correct, isn't it? These things are made of glass, but you might find you're better off with a kind of solid green paint, a glossy paint perhaps, and that will just, it kind of gives you even though it's not technically correct, they aren't painted, you get maybe a closer representation of what it looks like in reality. We know LEDs are made of glass, but that's a little bit more than what they look like than if we actually use the glass function, and then we end up seeing all the way through, which isn't ideal. So the glossy paint might be a good option for you. I'm going to close that down, save, just title it something that makes sense. So that's the model complete, and job done, all finished.